Hi, this is my Ionic app for rate locate. I'm using Atom here, and within Atom there is a module you can add called Ionic Preview. So it's nice and handy that you can work in one area, and it'll if you make a change, it'll build and reload in the other over here. So this is the view of it in an iPhone 6 emulator. So I'm just going to switch over to a Samsung Galaxy, so an Android, because Android is what I'm working with. So first off, I'm just going to take you through the app. So this is the home screen, it's the splash screen that I have. The images on the front screen will rotate. I'm just going to build that again so that the front screen images will rotate automatically. So there's three different images, and they're set to rotate every 3 seconds, I think. I'll just move on to the about page. On the about page here we have a section tab system here. Well, it gives information about what rate locate is. If I switch over this tab, it'll tell us where we get the data from, and this final tab will tell us how we score the data. So further on down on the about page we have a video loaded in that's embedded from YouTube, so I can just play this a few seconds. So that's a teaser video that we used to promote the rate locate application early on in the project. So moving on, I'll go to the contact page. On the contact page I have an image here of DKIT, some details about the address, email and the GPS coordinates. Here I'm loading in a Google map which focuses in on the college grounds, so that's our location. And down here we have a subscribers list that's linked to Firebase. I'll talk more about that later on. So if I go back to the home screen, to explore the data I've placed a fab. So this is a floating fab, and so if I can click this, it takes us into a generated page where we can view the housing statistics. So I laid it out in 2 tabs as per the wireframe that I had created. So it's pulling in the top 5 towns with the most and the least expensive towns by house prices. So the top 5 are here. So it just gives an image thumbnail, gives the name of the town, the county and the price of the house. If I switch over here to the bottom 5, it's the same again, same layout. So the image, the name of the town and the county and the price. So if I go back, I go into rental statistics. It's laid out the exact same way. It gives different data, so that's been pulled in from the database tables, and the bottom 5 is there. Go back, crime statistics, so it's coming in as well, given the name of the town, the county and the rate overall of the rating. So the bottom 5 is here, so we can go back to the home page. So that's basically it. I'm going to take you through a few bits now, so I'll just move this over. So just to begin with, I want to point out a couple of the like things that I've done just to help out in the whole system. So this is my folder setup. So I call the main name of the app is called Ionic RL app. And so all these files here are generated automatically, and then we have all the pages that I've created. So the about page, contact, crime stats, explore, home, house stats, rental stats and tabs. So and all the pages within those folders. I have a pipes folder here, and this does the YouTube video, and then we have a few other bits and pieces there that I'm going to touch on. So just to indicate in the variable CSS file, which is here, that I set the primary color to this green that we have, and the secondary the color is this red that's on some of the text on this fab here. So these colors are the two primary and secondary colors are the ones that I've used throughout the application. In the app CSS, these are where you configure some of your global applications. So so some global CSS styles. So this nav logo, if I just go into the about page, is this small little logo here, and because I wanted to fix it on all the pages that I used it on, so it wouldn't be floating about, so I left it there. This background image is, you can hardly see it, but it's a little grid perspective picture, and it's down here in the bottom of the about page, and so it's loading in the background image, and it's just setting the position and stuff here. And this scroll bar Y auto scroll content, so this is in relation to the home page, and it's all about hiding the scroll bar on certain pages. So I didn't want the scroll bar showing up on the home page because it just wouldn't look well. So so I call in that CSS class here. So this this bit of CSS, and once you put it to important, it'll override any other content. So just compare that to the about page. We have a scroll bar in here, and the contact page scroll bar in here too. So we'll just have a look at the home page. So it's a simple setup. So we have used the Ion slides, and we have 3 slides, one here, here, and here, and these are loading in the images for each one from the assets folder. So I'll just build that again just to fix it up. And then the fab that I've used, this Explore fab, is just floats, and I turned it into a button so that it'll open up the Explore page, using here the example of the secondary color to make it red. So on the home SCSS page, I've done some personal or some customized CSS just to control the things and make things look the way I wanted them. I use CSS animation keyframes set up here to make the Explore button pulse, so it draws the attention of the user to that they can actually interact with this button. So I'll just close down some of these pages as I go, as I don't need them. Right, moving on to the about page. So here's the use of the primary color in the background, which is the green, and so I used the segment card that comes with Ionic, and that's to make these tabs here. So it's a nice way of keeping everything nice and tidy. Again, so I've used 3 of them, and they're declared here, and these are the setups. So this is the what, it's the details tab, and this is where you fill in your information that you want. The data tab is here, it's called in up here, and then the calculator tab is this final one here, so calculating. So so you can set some styles inline as well as you go. So that keeps all that bit of information nice and tidy up at the top. And then I move on to the videos section here. So this video is embedded from YouTube, and there's a special way of doing this. You have to use you have to set up a thing called a pipe. So over here in one of my folders, I have a pipe called YouTube TS, and this declares that you're using a thing called YouTube, and so this declares it and makes it injectable within the overall application. So if I go back to the about page, I use the angler to let videos of videos. So if we go to the about TS, we see on the about page we've declared this YouTube pipe in here, and I can put the title to the video at the top, and then you declare the video. So within here, this is called videos, and this is the videos tag as such, and we have video within that. So you can put as many videos as you want, and it's like an array. So once you can put as many videos you want, and they'll display out here. So once this this is run, it's like a for loop, and it displays videos of videos. So the iframe is here, and there's a special way of calling in the video too, using this notation. So that's the about page. I'll just close these parts down. On the contact page, I started off with an image, so it's just a simple card, and then I was able to add some details about where we're located and things like that there. So each of these are put in as an item to keep them nice and tidy. Using this card system that they have is real nice, and it keeps everything in sort of modular fashion as well. So moving on down, we have the map that is called in. So this is a Google map, and it's a live map. Just let me see. So where are this thing? Right. So it's called in here. Just this is just all the map section. It's just this bit of code here that creates this. So that's how it calls it in. So to make the map, because I've a lot going on this contact TS page, I'll just show you this part that's related to the map. So you have to declare a variable for Google, and then you have to create the map variable. So the map is, this map here is related to this ID, and then further on down, I'll come to that later. So this is the section here that loads in the map, and so it checks at the very beginning to see is the map loaded, and then it initiates it. Then it initializes, it calls in this function here to initialize the map. So it's this where you set your latitude and longitude, and then you can set your zoom levels and different what version of a map. So I'm just doing the normal road map here. So that's this section here is basically the setup for this whole map, and then it's called in here. Moving further down on the contact page, I've implemented a subscribe section, and so this is where I'm doing I'm doing some update, delete, read, all the CRUD functions here, because I wanted to use Firebase, because Firebase is a Google online database system that it makes applications really lightweight and dynamic. So so I set up the whole section here, and if I just go to the Firebase, so I set up an account on Firebase, and I set up a database, and I called it RL subscriber, so rate locate subscriber. So this is the project that I made, and there's a certain amount of setting up to do here, and different bits and pieces, like allowing users to do certain things, and authentication and the likes. But this database tab is where your main thing is. So this is the name of my database, and at the minute I have 2 subscribers up. So I have Tom at Gmail and Paul at gmail.com. So if I just jump back into the app, you'll see that Tom at Gmail is here and Paul at gmail.com is here. I'll just go here to my app module.ts page, and to get the Firebase working, you have to import several bits and pieces. It was a bit difficult to get this working, but I eventually did, and I was very happy with the result. So you need to import this HTTP module or it won't work below, work at all, and then you have to import the Angular Fire 2 module as well, and then then you set up your Firebase configuration. So this is my API key, the authentic domain. So the RL subscriber is the name of the database, and it's on the Firebase setup. The database URL is here, storage bucket and message sender ID. So you don't really need that last part. And then this here has to be declared here as well. So once you have everything imported and everything set up, you can go and on the contact page, you can set up your system here. So this is the title, subscribe. So these buttons here, this person icon is linked to a function called add sub, so add subscriber. And then further on down, like, so we give a bit of details of what we can do here, and then this ng4 is like the same again as the for loop, and it'll spill out the email address in a list fashion here. So this show options is another function that I'll show you now in a second. So on the contact page, we'll have to import our Firebase observables here first. So and then you declare them here and inject them into your constructors. So this is the add subscriber. So it's a function. So it basically, if I demonstrate it here first, so if I want to go, I'll just add somebody. So I'm just going to go Henry at gmail.com. So I can save that, and it comes here. So it comes out in the list. If I go to the Firebase, you'll see that I have a new entry here called Henry at gmail.com. Going back here, this allows me to edit, so I can delete Henry, update his email, or I can cancel. So Henry, say we'll just call him Murphy, and save. So it's updated and it's redone here. If I go to the Firebase, it's here it is here, so it's Henry Murphy now at gmail.com. I'll go back to the application. So if I click on Henry, I can delete Henry altogether, and he's gone. And just to demonstrate it, he's gone out of the Firebase database. So using Firebase, it's really quick and it's lightweight, and it's I'm really impressed with the way it works. So the add subscriber function allows you to add a subscriber, and then it lets you save it. And so this is the show options function here, and within it it allows you to call it delete or update or cancel. And so once you delete, like, you call this remove subscriber down here, and you can update. So update this sub function is called here. So that's basically it for that section. So close the contacts. So next I want to go home. If I go to the explore page, so I'll just open up the housing stats page and the TS, the housing stats TS. So if I demonstrate the housing stats again, it gives you the top 5 from the database and the bottom 5. So they're spilled out in these tabs, so it keeps them nice and tidy. Okay, to show you what's going on here, I'm just going to go into my cPanel. So on my own hosting account, which is mrpaulkelly.com, I set up a database. So I just went for a simple database, and so I have a few tables in it with a few rows. So just this house prices table, for example, has the ID, a town, a county, a price, and an image. So if we go back to the app, that's what's coming in here. So this is the data that's being filled in. If I go back to here, I'll show you that to get this to work, you have to save all your PHP files within your public folder, so that you're actually interacting and calling at them. So I've opened up this retrieve house prices top PHP just to show what's going on. So it makes a connection to your database, and then it does a query to select all the house prices and order them by price, descending, and limit a top 5, like so. So that's the way I'm doing it. It puts it into an array called data, and then it posts it back to you in JSON encoded. So if I go back to here, so this is the house stats TS page. So any of this house stats and house HTML and TS pages, they're all basically the same setup as the rental and the crime stats. So you have to create two arrays just to store the data that's coming back from here. So it's to store this data here, and so I create function. So it's basically what it's doing is retrieving the JSON encoded data from the remote server, and then it's assigning this to the top towns array. So it's using this here. So that's it, this PHP file is sitting in mrpaulkelly.com/retrieve house prices top PHP, and then it's assigning that data to this array called top towns. The same with the bottom data. So it's a retrieve house prices bottom. So I kept everything just simple, just for the demonstration purposes. So it's assigning that part, this data that's coming back in JSON format to this array called bottom towns. So these are them here. So that's the setup for the back end, and on the front end of your page to get that coming out. So if we just look at the top 5 house prices, again it's using this Angular for loop here. So I give it just a variable name called top place. So this is the top towns, is the array that you have in your backend in your house stats. So it's saying just let for every top place of top towns spill it out, and I want the image, and I want the name of the town, the county, and the price. So each one's doing top image, top place dot town, which is this, the county is Mead, and top price 188,000, for example. And then the bottom 5 is doing the exact same thing. It's just you're changing variables here, and you're targeting different arrays. So it's a bottom place of bottom towns. So just to remind you, so that's this array of BTM towns, and so I'm just calling it BTM place to get the image, the town, the county, and the price. So that's the way that works.